I'm Tuesday hauling for you guys today, and this is that video that I had mentioned at the end of my Saturday haul video that I would be doing. It is a collaboration video with Beautylish. It's my very first collab video. I kind of felt like it just made sense to do it with Beautylish because, for one, I've been purchasing from them for so many years and I continue to do so. I spend a lot of money on Beautylish. And it's not a sponsored video, but it is a collaboration video in conjunction with their annual gift card event. For every $100 that you spend on the website, you get a $20 gift card that you can in return use on the website. And they had just asked me to send over a list of things that I had wanted to try off of the website, and that is just a super easy thing to do because Beautylish carries Charlotte Tilbury, Tom Ford, Sonia G brushes, Chikuhodo. They carry Koyudo brushes now as well. Just so many things. May Lindstrom. I love pharmacy skincare products. They also carry Mahalo. So just, they have a lot of super great brands on there, so it was super easy to pick out stuff. And then they had some of the new holiday stuff was coming in, so I grabbed some of that. And not even joking, I have my bucket full right now with more products that came in afterwards that I will be purchasing when the event goes live, which it does go live at my time. I'm on Central Standard Time. It goes live at 11 o'clock, which is the same time that this video will be going up. And then it ends on the 25th of October at 11:59 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, which is 2 o'clock in the morning my time, I believe, which is 22nd, 23rd, 24th, 25th. 4 days that I have to do some damage on Beautylish. So this first item I was so stoked to get. It's one of the new brush sets from Koyudo. It's called the Cherry Blossom 4-piece brush set. I just kept looking at this and looking at this online, and it had gone out of stock for a minute, and then it came back in. And there's also a cherry blossom set with 5 brushes as well. I think there's a larger powder brush in that one, but I got the 4-piece set, and this set comes in one of these really pretty boxes like this. I actually had Food Japan sent me over some brushes some time back, and it came in a really pretty box like this as well. It's like a really light kind of wooden box. And then inside are your brushes. Mine were individually packaged and stuff like that, but I removed all the packaging. So the set comes with this really pretty pouch, which it doesn't look like on first glance, but inside it does have slots to store the brushes in there, which I think is really nice for like traveling and stuff like that. And then it has the keepers that go over the top of it. So that comes inside of the set. And then here are the 4 brushes that come in the set. So you kind of have a medium-sized powder brush, or it would work for blush as well, more like a cheek blush brush or highlight brush, and then a large kind of all-over shadow, and then a smaller kind of all-over shadow. They're very versatile brushes just because of the shapes. You can use them for many different things. So here is the largest brush in the set, and I would call it kind of a medium powder brush. Like today I use brushes like this a lot for just a really light dusting of translucent powder to kind of take down shine. But the handles on here have got cherry blossoms, and it almost looks like, I don't know if it is or not, but it almost looks like opal in there. If you can see I'm trying to get it to show the colors that are in those cherry blossoms. Just very, very pretty. It does look like that shift that you get from opal. And then here is the kind of cheek brush. Again, there's the handle. And then Koyudo, a lot of Koyudo brushes have got like a square handle to them, and they just feel really nice in the hand as well. So this one is the kind of cheek brush right there. And then here's the larger all over shadow brush right there. So you can see the shape of it. And then here's the smaller all over shadow brush. And then this handle though is so pretty. That is the shape of that one. I'm going to show it next to the Chikuhodo GSN9 that I use all the time, so you guys can see kind of the difference in the shapes of the heads there. So that is the Cherry Blossom 4-piece brush set from Koyudo. This is the brand right there. They are handmade Japanese makeup brushes right there. And then next up I got this Nudestix and Hilary Duff collaboration set that they came out with. Everything comes in kind of this, it's almost like kind of an oil slick bag. And then inside there is a card right there with Hilary Duff and a couple ways to use the products in here. And the reason that I had wanted this is Samantha Ravndal uses a lot of Nudestix products, and every time she like puts the blush on or something like that, she likes to use a lot of creams, and I'm kind of the opposite. I like to use a lot of powders, but she always makes them look so nice on the skin. So I wanted to kind of try to start incorporating more cream products because I use a lot of powder products. So she was kind of my inspiration for wanting to get this set. And it comes with 2 face, lip, and eye sticks, and they come in the little tins right here. And the shades are Half Moon, which is that really pretty holographic sparkly purple, blue, pink that I just love. And then a more blush tone shades. This kind of like a highlighter shade is the Half Moon, and then the other one is called Body Language, and this is more like a blush. And I've got a little bit of Half Moon on the top of my cheeks today. That's the only place that I had put it. And this product doesn't kind of set down like some other cream products. It kind of stays a little bit tacky and kind of real dewy. And I put it on before I put on like my powder highlighter. And now that I've worked with the product a little bit, the next time I go to use it, I'm going to use it after I put on my powder highlighter and just kind of get a little bit on my finger and tap it on the top of the cheekbones to kind of give it that wet look, because again, it doesn't really dry down super dry. It stays a little bit tacky. So this is the shade Half Moon right here. And what I did today with it was I used, again, this little Fenty Beauty Baby Buki brush, and I just kind of went like this and then tapped it on the top of the cheeks. And then I went over it with the powder highlighter, and that's why I got some intense highlighter going on right now. So this is the shade Half Moon, and it's got a real like holographic effect to it. There are very, very, very fine micro glitters in there. I would say they're kind of silver, but I love tones like this. I just think that they're so pretty. And then on the end of these sticks here, there is a little smudge out brush. But typically I like to take the brush directly on the product, and I kind of can't do that. Well, I guess I could use the blush brush on the highlighter and the highlighter brush on the blush, right? But you can use this little brush on the end to buff it out if you put it on the cheeks directly. And then the blush shade is Body Language, and it's kind of just a really pretty neutral nude pink color right there. And let's blend that out with this little brush too. So this one again is Body Language. I don't know, it kind of makes me want to get a bunch of nude sticks to play with. And I do blame Samantha Ravndal for this. And then the set also comes with 3 eye sticks and a lipstick. So let me swatch these, and then there is a sharpener in there for the pencils as well. And one of these is the eye color that I wore underneath kind of as a base with that Pat McGrath eyeshadow from Saturday's haul. It just turned out so pretty. Like, it really grabbed onto that Pat McGrath, and it was so like shifty and shiny. It was just stunning. So that nude stick was the shade Prism. And this is like a cream stick version of that powder shadow that I'm kind of obsessed with the purple, the blue, pink, you know, real duochromy shift to it. So this is Prism right here. We'll swatch it right there. And when I put it on my eyes, I actually just rubbed the stick on my finger and then patted it on. But you can see that kind of effect. And again, I used that for a base for that Pat McGrath shadow. And it just turned out so pretty. So that's the shade Prism. And then the next one is called Bright Eyes, which is just a beautiful taupe color. So that is Bright Eyes. The official name for these is the Magnetic Luminous Eye Color. So this last eye color is Night Dweller, and it's kind of a forest green shade right there. So that's Night Dweller. And then the gel color Lip and Cheek Balm in Secret Keeper is kind of the lip product, and it kind of matches the blush a little bit. But it's just a really glossy, again, nude kind of pink shade. So there are the swatches for all of the products that are in the Nude Sticks and Hilary Duff Daydreamer set. It just really makes me want to go out and buy a bunch of nude sticks. I don't need to do that, or do I? And then next up, I got the Charlotte Tilbury Film Star Bronze and Glow from her holiday collection. And her holiday collection packaging this year is just everything. Her face palette, the kind of all-in-one with cheeks and stuff like, I can't remember the official name of them. That's one of the products that I have in my bucket that I will be purchasing when the sale goes live. But anyway, this is the Film Star Bronze and Glow limited edition palette, dazzling with Swarovski crystals. Includes a mini powder and sculpt brush. So this is the outside packaging I love her packaging this year. And then here is the Filmstar Bronze and Glow. I mean, how pretty. And these are like little crystals on the cover. Very, very shiny. So this one is light medium. Her Filmstar Bronze and Glow does come in a darker shade as well, but I think that the holiday version only comes in the light medium. There's a total of 0.79 ounces of product in here, and then you've got your bronzer and your highlighter. This for me, like, I mean, if you see the highlight on my cheeks, this is a very, very subtle highlighter for me, but if you like really subtle, then you'll like this, because the powder products themselves are really good. I've been using the bronzer in the very first Filmstar Bronze and Glow that I got when she launched in the UK, and I had to ship it across the pond. I've been using that bronzer for a really long time. It's a very light, super easy to use bronzer. It's kind of one that I feel like when I put it on, I don't have to worry as much about, you know, being super precise with it, because it just blends into the skin really easily, and it's not like overly pigmented. So this is the bronzer that I have on my face today. And then this set comes with the mini powder and sculpt brush, and it's got the little blue star or handle and stars on there. And then this is kind of a tapered type of blush brush kind of deal. I typically use a little bit bigger brush for bronzer than this guy, but it would work really good for the highlight portion or also like blush. It's just a really cute little brush, and it's a super soft synthetic. So let me give you guys some swatches of these two products right here. And I like that the bronzer in there, it doesn't pull too warm for me. It's a good tone. So that is the Charlotte Tilbury Filmstar Bronze and Glow with this super special packaging. I think if you've ever wanted to try the Filmstar Bronze and Glow, now's a good time, because this packaging is just stellar. Next up, I got these two Anna Sui eye color trios. There's actually 3 that are available, and these are a newer launch for her, and her packaging all the time is just killer. Like, I buy a lot of her products because her packaging is so cute. The products are pretty nice as well, but the packaging is just killer. So I got these 2 trios. This first one is the Anna Sui Eye Color Trio in 01. Does this have a name? It does not. They just go by numbers. But here, look at this packaging. It is super cute. There's a butterfly embossed in here. And then inside there is a little protector. You've got 2 that are kind of like a satin, and then one that's quite shimmery. And then look at this little tiny, look at that little brush that comes in there. But let me go ahead and swatch these for you guys. Anna Sui eyeshadows are quite soft, and they're a little bit more subtle than some eyeshadows, but they're really easy to work with if you like kind of a quick kind of soft eye look. So that is the one in 01. And then the other one that I got is 03 right here. And everything in here has got a bit of a sparkle to it. These 2 shades have got some really fine micro glitters in there. And then this one is kind of a metallic green shade. Right there. Kind of like a fall kind of foresty palette. So there is the trio in 03 right there. And there's 01. And then I thought the packaging on this looked really pretty, and kind of the products inside intrigued me. It's the Kevyn Aucoin Jewel Pop Face and Eye Palette. So the packaging is a cardboard packaging, and this comes with the Sculpting Medium Powder, which I believe is his original color. Now he has a darker version and also a lighter version. This one comes with the medium that kind of falls with his original launch of the sculpting powder. I had used it very lightly, kind of as an all-over dusting, slightly bronze contour effect, and it works really well for that. Or if you want to go in with a more dense brush and really carve it out, it really provides a nice contour. I've got this in a single form as well. And then this blush has got half shimmer, and then the mauve side is kind of a satin. The eyeshadows in here with these really pretty sparkles, they have a cream feel to them. They don't pick up very well on a brush, but they go on super intense with your finger. So when I had used them, after I tried them with a brush, I went in with my finger and picked up product and kind of smeared it on my eyelid, and that's kind of how it worked best. And then there is one matte, which is this Moonstone shade up here, matte brow bone highlight for the win. And then these colors right here are kind of your more traditional eyeshadow formula. This one has a slight creaminess to it, but not as creamy as these two shades right here. And then this brown down here has a sparkle. When I used this, I had actually used the Sculpting Medium to kind of use as a transition shade, and I did have to build it up because that is a face product, so it's not quite as pigmented as an eyeshadow, but I was able to make it work pretty well. But yeah, these shades, they're just they're thick. They feel like creams. And for me, they're not as easy to use with a brush, but they go on pretty nice with your finger. Look at that shine though. Super pretty. That's kind of like a peach rose gold kind of a shade. Look at that. And then here's that other kind of cream shade. It's like a pretty taupe. It looks like kind of like that Anasui trio, those colors. Blend this out a little bit. So those are the eye products. And then we'll go into this blush. I'll go like this, and then like this, and then like this. How I was using it was just mixing the two shades together. Oh. So there's the blush shade, and then here is the sculpting powder in medium, right there. So you can tell there's a little bit more of an ashier undertone in these sculpting powders than like a bronzer, but you can kind of get away with it bronzing if you use a really fluffy brush, not one that's really dense. So there are all the products that are in the Kevyn Aucoin Jewel Pop face and eye palette. And then I did get one skincare product. This is the Vintner's Daughter Active Treatment Essence for face. This is a product that I've been eyeballing since they launched it. I want to say it's been maybe about a year ago. It's their newest product. They only have two products, Vintner's Daughter, and I have gone through an entire bottle of their serum. It's kind of like a face oil serum, and that's a really beautiful product as well. Very expensive. I contemplate going back and forth to repurchase it again, but I have so many face serums and face oils that I need to get through, so I'm trying to be a little bit better about purchasing more until I use up some of those. But anyway, I've wanted to try the Active Treatment Essence for quite some time, so I went ahead and got that guy right here, and it comes in a 1.7 ounce bottle? Yeah, 50 milliliter bottle. And how I've been using this, I've been using it morning and night, and I use it after I tone and kind of treat my face for blemishes and stuff like that, because I feel like if I tone afterwards, I'm like wiping this off my face because I use a cotton pad. So I use it after that. I use like 5 drops anyway of the essence, and I put it in the palm of my hand and just kind of pat it all over my face, and then I go in with my other serums that I put on my skin. And so far I've really been enjoying it. I haven't had it quite long enough to notice if there's a huge difference, but what I'm hoping that it does is kind of help bring my serums and my more hydrating products, kind of draw it deeper into the skin, because I do have a drier skin type, especially since I have to use acne combating ingredients. So that doesn't help out dry skin, you know. So anyway, I got this guy, again, 50 milliliter bottle, and again, so far so good. I was kind of expecting it to smell, for some reason, smell fruity, but it smells more like herbally, medicinally, or something like that. But Vintner's Daughter, along with like May Lindstrom, Mahalo, those brands are very hard to find discounts on. It's very hard to find them on sale. I don't think on all of the organic or natural skincare sites that I purchase from, if they ever have a sale, Vintner's Daughter is always excluded from the sale. So this would kind of be, if you've ever wanted to try Vintner's Daughter, this might be a fine time to try it. And then I also got the Anastasia Beverly Hills Carly Bible eyeshadow palette. I was going to pick this up one way or another, so I was happy to get it during this Beautylish collab. This is got 0.75 grams of product. Each shadow is 0.026 ounces, which is pretty small in terms of the amount of product that you're getting. But there are 14 shades in the palette. They still have that same double-ended brush that are in all of ABH palettes. And then this one here, it says eyeshadows and pressed pigments are made in the USA and the brush is made in the PRC. So this is the palette that Carli Bybel collabed with them. The packaging is cardboard, much like her others. And then inside here are your 14 eyeshadows, and there's your double-ended brush, which I always feel like, because ABH shadows are so soft, mostly her blending side of the brush is much too scratchy to use with this soft of a formula. I'm always like, guys, change up your brush. I've used this palette a couple times, and I kind of feel like this might be one of my more favorite palettes from ABH that have come out in quite a while. I think that there's just some really beautiful shades. Like, I can see myself using every single shade in here relatively often. And one of my favorite shades, of course, is that really pretty purple with the blue kind of duochrome in it. So let me point out the matte shades. You've got Bybel, Bowie, Chai, Cindy, and Stev. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 matte eyeshadows. This color here I do wish was a matte, but it does have a pearlescent finish. It does look really pretty underneath the brow, but it does have some shine to it. But some of these other shades here, these shimmers, are just stunning. But let me give you guys some swatches. And I sort of feel like this particular palette, they've pressed the shadows a little bit more so they're not so like poofed out when I put a brush in there, which is a good thing, because I always feel like, you know, I waste product and there's not a lot of product per pan the way that it is. So I'm glad that they pressed them a little bit. They're still very soft, however. And then these next three. If you can hear the tractor outside, my brothers are hauling hay in from the fields. So that's what that noise is. There's the next three. And then this bottom row. And then these last three. These two shimmer shades are so pretty. So there are the swatches for the Carli Bybel and ABH collab palette. I really like this one. I think, again, like I said, I feel like I can get use out of every single shade that's in this palette. And then for reference, I just want to show it next to the Jackie Aina palette, which is on top, next to the Carli Bybel palette, because this was the last 14 pan palette that ABH released. And then I just threw the Hourglass Ghost collection on my list that I sent over, and they sent me all the products from the collection. I was planning on picking up the trio and also the blush palette with the 4 blushes in it. I really like the Hourglass Ambient formula. I think I have most of their blushes. I think that their blush formula is really phenomenal, just super easy to use, and they look really pretty on the cheeks. It's kind of like a baked formula. And then their original ambient lighting powders, I must have gone through probably 4 of the Ethereal Light powder. I used to use it as an all-over dusting after I've done all my face makeup, much like I use the Guerlain Meteorites, which I kind of go through spells where I get on my meteorite kick and then I go back to the Hourglass kind of a deal. But I just use a fluffy brush and I buff it all over the skin. So let me get into those products. I'll start off with the Hourglass Scattered Light Glitter Eyeshadow Collection. And this comes with 3 shades, and each one of these is 2 grams, and their full size Scattered Light shadows are 3.5 grams. So you're getting about, what is that, roughly 2/3? Maybe just under just over half of the amount of product in a full size one. And their individual shadows are pretty expensive, so I kind of feel like this is a good deal with 3 shades, because it is going to take a while to use up all the product in one of these pots. 2 grams is a pretty decent amount of product for each one. So this first one is in the shade Foil, and it does have a little stopper inside of it as well. And this is just a really pretty gold color right here. And I like these little ones better because, again, like I said, the full-size ones are really expensive. They're really pretty eyeshadows, they really are, but they're expensive. So I really like this little trio. Again, there's a lot of product that you're getting in there too. So that is the shade Foil. And then this next one is the shade Molten, which is a pretty burgundy purple color. This one has got like silver sparkles in it. Right there. So that is the shade Molten. And then the last one in the set is the shade Ray. And this is just a pretty taupe with some silver kind of multi-dimensional sparkles in it. I think this one might be my favorite shade out of the three. Right there. So we've got Foil, Molten, and Ray right there. And that is from the Hourglass Scattered Light trio. And then next up here is the Ambient Lighting Blush Quad from the Ghost Collection. And there are 4 blushes in here: Surreal Effect, Brilliant Nude, Lucid Glow, and Infinite Flush. This one reminds me of that the Fuchsia one though. And this was a product that I was going to get from this collection as well. So those are the shades. I do feel like these blushes show better on the skin than they do kind of in these swatches right here. Like today when I used blush, I mixed these 2 shades together, which is another thing that I like about the palettes, is it's super easy to kind of just use it like a easel palette and just dip between shades and stuff like that. So when I use these palettes, I often mix and mingle between the shades. So, and then the packaging on this, it's like a frosted plastic backing on the Ghost Collection there. And then here is the Ambient Lighting Edit Ghost palette. And in here you have got 2 finishing powders, which are Dim Light and Diffused Light. I think I'd actually gone through an entire one of Diffused Light as well as an all over finishing powder. And then you've got Strobe Powder and Iridescent Strobe Light. So this is kind of like a highlighter shade. Then you have got the bronzer and in Eternal Bronze Light, and I think I've got this one in a full size. Strobe Blush in Iridescent Rose and Blush in Sublime Flush. I'd used the 2 finishing powders today all over on a fluffy rougher brush, and I actually kind of was, when I was going between them, I wanted to pick up a little bit of the highlighter shade just to add even more glow to the skin, and it works really nicely like that. So again, that's something that I like about these kind of style palettes. It's like, or if I wanted a little bit more, you know, red in my bronze, I can pick up a little bit of the blush shade that's next to it. However, if you're really trying to pinpoint one shade or another, the pans are a little bit small, so you're going to have to go in with a smaller brush if you want to really, you know, focus on one shade. So let's swatch these guys. Yeah, that's going to melt right into my skin, the dim light one. So those are the 2 finishing powders, and then the highlighter. Which again, the highlighters from the Ambient Collection are for me, because I like to be seen from space. These are a little bit more subdued than what I'm typically into using. But again, I love the blushes, and I really like the bronzer and the finishing powders as well. I've got several versions of all of them in my collection in the full size. And then lastly, from the Ghost Collection, they sent over both of these Confession refillable lipstick duos right here. They don't have particular names, but each one has got 2 different shades of lipstick in there. So this first one comes with the shades I Wonder and All Forever. So here's the shade I Wonder, and the packaging on this again is like a frosted plastic. These are interchangeable, so you can pull the lipstick out and then pop the other one back in. And then here is kind of what the refillable looks like. So I'm going to go ahead and swatch the shades. So here is the shade I Wonder right here, which is kind of a rose red. And this particular lipstick formula from Hourglass is extremely opaque, and it feels creamy, but it does not slide around on the lips. I've actually got on the shade today. What is this color? the first time, which I'm going to go ahead and swatch with all 4 of these shades here when I'm done so you can kind of just see. But it's a really pretty formula. It stays kind of shiny, but it stays in place as well. So there's I Wonder, and then the other shade in that duo is called All Forever, which is a little bit deeper and a little bit more brown. Or red, I guess I should say. Well, red and brown. It's kind of a bricky red color. So that one is All Forever, and that's the duo there. And then the other duo comes with I Cherish, and this is probably the shade that I will get the most use out of because it's a nude. So this is I Cherish. I actually wore this the other day, and it's just a little bit darker than the shade that I have on today. So there is I Cherish. And then the other one that comes in there kind of as the refillable, or the one that you can swap out, is the shade You Inspire, which is pretty dark. It's a darkened kind of burgundy red. Right there. So that one is You Inspire. And then I'll go ahead and swatch it next to the one that I have on in the first time, which is a really pretty nude color. So it's a little bit more warm than that guy right there, which has a little bit more pink. But I really like this lipstick. These are super expensive as well, but the formula is super nice. I put some more on. And it's a smaller bullet, so you can get really precise with them. Another good product to get from Hourglass is their Veil Translucent Loose like setting powder. I have that in the big size, and that is, the hype is, I feel like the hype is real with that powder. I finally like gave in and tried it because everybody talks so good about it, and it is a really beautiful setting powder. So that is another good product from Hourglass. But I also got this ABH Norvina Collection Pro Pigment Palette Volume 2, and I will be picking up the Volume 3 as well off of Sephora. I got along with the Volume 1 really well, so I wanted to get Volume 2. These palettes are quite interesting because like when you look at them, you're like, what am I going to do with that? You know, but the fun thing about it is, and every time that I've used both of the Volume 1 and 2 palettes, is I get really pretty kind of unique twisted looks. They do. They have a little bit of a unique twist to them. I've actually got this palette on my eyes today, and these shadows are like the mattes, and the satins are extremely pigmented. The shimmers have a really pretty shift, but I don't feel like they have a huge amount of color pigment in them, but they have a pretty sparkle. So let's go ahead and swatch this guy. And there are 30 eyeshadows in here. It's got a massive mirror, so if you like to use your mirrors and palettes, this is a really nice mirror in here. And then each shadow is 0.063 ounces per shade, which is a massive amount of product that you're getting. There's just tons of product in here. And even though there are quite a few blues and stuff, they all have a little bit of a different tone to them, which makes sense when you use them on the eyes with some of the other shades in here. So let me swatch these guys. Some of these shadows in here are like so intensely pigmented, it's kind of crazy. There are, I believe, only 7 shimmer shades in here as well, which let me point them out to you real quick. You've got A1, A3, A4, A5, C1, D1, and E2. Those are the only like shimmer shades that are in this palette. But I did bring in Wet n Wild's Brulee for underneath the brow today with this one because I do have a pretty bright eye look on. It just helps to ground the look when I use a matte brow bone with really bright shades. Next ones. I'm going to try to fit them all on my arm because I want you guys to be able to see all those blues kind of together. I wonder if I'm going to make it work. And these next ones. Some crazy pigmentation, man. And then these ones, you got that good old random orange in there. It's just, you know, makes things interesting. Oh man, I'm gonna run out of room. I really want these all in one shot. I'm gonna try. And then this last row. I've had to like set the palette down and take a little break because this is a heavy palette. There are just a ton, an absolute ton of matte eyeshadows in here. Okay, let's do... It's just some crazy pigmentation, that's all I can say. And then this last one is a matte black. Right there. Put that guy down here too. So let me try to fit this all in here. Those are the swatches for the ABH Pro Pigment Volume 2 palette. I think it's super fun. I think that these Pro Pigment palettes from the, they're Norvina's palettes, right? Yeah, they're the Norvina collection palettes. I think that they're really interesting and they spice things up a bit. I feel that way about the first one and the second one, and I'll probably feel that way about the third one as well. And then lastly here, I wanted to get this Units 200 series face set. I got the eye set and they're just really handy like brushes to have around. They're all really super soft synthetics, but the quality of them is really nice. I've got the full range of the kind of the permanent set that aren't like the travel ones, and they're made really, really well. And it comes with a Velcro brush roll that I think is super handy for probably lots of brushes. And then inside of here are 6 synthetic brushes. They have a really nice weight to them. We've got this Unit 211 brush, which is a super large powder brush, very, very soft synthetic. An angled fluffy powder brush. This is the Unit 207 right there. A little bit smaller dense brush. This is the Unit 209 brush right there. It's got a little bit of a pinch to it. The Unit 208 brush, it's kind of more like a paddle face brush with a pinch to it right there. Then you've got another large powder brush. This is the Unit 206 brush. This has got a little bit more of a flattened end to it as opposed to the other one that was a little more domed, but this is an even fluffier kind of brush. It's not quite as dense as the other one. And then you have the Unit 210 brush, which is kind of a tapered blush highlight contour brush right there. This one is circular all the way around. So that's the Units 200 face set. And I also wanted to show this travel eye set as well. I've used this a couple times. There's a little bit of eyeshadow on there, but this is kind of a nice addition to that face set. So let me show you the brushes that are in here. There are the brushes that are in that set. You've got the Unit 205, 201, 203, 204, and 202 right there. I'm trying to get them so you can see the heads. These two right here are pinched, and then these 3 right here are circular brushes, kind of a smudger, 2 blenders, a packer, and then kind of a blend out brush there. And then some other things that I purchased from Beautylish myself that I really recommend are from Lord Jones. I've got their high CBD formula bath salts. I take Epsom salt baths and stuff like that as well for like muscle aches and stuff because I got a lot of neuromuscular pain damage and stuff like that. But I really feel a noticeable difference when I use these compared to just regular Epsom salt, and I really, really like them. I do feel like my muscles just feel better, and I feel like I do feel like it helps me sleep as well because I typically take a bath at night and then I'll put like a scoop in here. I will mention that there are little pieces of, I'm not sure what the plant is, but there's little pieces of plants in there, and I have got a jet tub, so I have to put them in kind of a little straining bag or something like that so that those little pieces don't go through my jets. But other than that, I really, really like these CBD bath salts. There are 240 milligrams of CBD per jar, and each scoop is got 20 milligrams in it, and it says non-psychoactive, contains no THC. And again, that's from Lord Jones. And the other product that I'm almost out of is the Royal Oil, 1,000 milligram CBD, also from Lord Jones. This is, I'm like down to right there. I use this every single night, and this whole bottle has 1,000 milligrams of CBD. I haven't tried it like orally, which I believe you can use it like that as well, but it's the most concentrated form of like face product that I found with that much CBD in it that doesn't have a ton of other ingredients. The only other ingredient that's in there, I want to say is grapeseed oil. So grapeseed oil and CBD is everything in here. During the sale myself, I'll also be purchasing another one of the Good Molecules Super Peptide Serum. I didn't think that I was out of this until I ran out of it last night. I use this every single night as well, and I just put a couple drops in my hand and pat it on my face. But this is the second bottle of this that I have been through. The first bottle they did send me, this one I had purchased myself, and again, I didn't know that I was that low on it, so I'm going to purchase another one of these during the sale. And another one of the serums that I've been enjoying from Good Molecules is the hyaluronic acid serum. This guy has got just a dash in there, so I need to get another one of these. But I like to add a couple drops of this into my nightly moisturizer to really put some more moisture into my skin, because again, I've got that, trying to balance out those two things we were talking about. So I'm going to get another one of these as well. And then I have purchased their cleansing balm. That's a really nice product from Good Molecules. And I have a couple other Good Molecules products, but I haven't been able to kind of focus on them, using them to really get an opinion on them. But I just know that I really love those ones. And then I was really hoping that the Sonia G Sky face set was going to be back in stock, but I know they're going to restock it soon. But Sonia G brushes are another really good one to pick up during the sale. Here's her new Designer Pro brush right here. Her sets, I love her Sculpt One brush right here for bronzing. It's just super easy, super quick, and blends out really nice. Her brushes are top notch. Beautylish also sells Chikuhodo. I love my Maki, I believe this is the MK1 brush, or is it, this one's the MK2, excuse me. But I love using this for my Galan Meteorites, or also like that Hourglass finishing powder, just all over buffing of powder on the skin. I've had this brush, not even joking, for like 5-6 years, and it gets washed, all of that, and it still is just in great condition. They're made super, super nice. So this is the MK1 from Chikuhodo. So Chikuhodo brushes, Koyudo brushes, Sonia G brushes, Wayne Goss brushes. You guys know I love Wayne Goss brushes as well. I have every single one that he's ever made. I was really hoping to get the Tom Ford quads as well, but those sold out super fast on Beautylish. But his baked jelly formula, some of those quads are absolutely stunning. If I were to recommend just one that was like a must-have, Body Heat right here. I've used that a massive amount. Love that. It's the baked jelly texture. I will be getting the Soleil ones as well, the 3 ones that they just came out with, because they're that same formula. But here's another good one. This is Suspicion right here. So Tom Ford quads, Tom Ford lipsticks, Charlotte Tilbury quads. If you're kind of wanting to hit that next $100, so you get another 20 gift card, you know, so like say you were spending like 80 something or whatever, and you wanted to throw another smaller product to get that $100, a good one like a Charlotte Tilbury pencil sharpener is really nice. The RCMA no color setting powder, I think that's $12, and you get so much product with one of those. I use that every single day to set underneath my eyes. I've also used it as setting all over my face, and it works really nicely for that as well. But I'm almost at the bottom of the like large RCMA that I got. Shoot, I've had it for like 3 years or something like that. Or like a Charlotte Tilbury lip cheat to throw in there. The Charlotte Tilbury lip cheats are hands down my #1 favorite, most used, most purchased lip liner ever. I've got Iconic Nude on 6 times out of the week. Maybe one time I'll use something else. I used to be really beyond to Pillow Talk, and I've kind of went over to Iconic Nude, but that's another good one. Beautylish also sells May Lindstrom and Mahalo. Those are also natural skincare products that are very hard to find on sale. I highly recommend the Mahalo Bean Mask. All of Mahalo products are super nice. I've purchased and tried them all several times. I love the Petal Mask. They also sell Pharmacy, which my love for the Green Clean runs real deep, and I'm actually really obsessed with their new Cherry vitamin C serum as well. I'm like halfway through a tube of that. That's one of the only vitamin C serums that I've found, and I've tried quite a few, that I don't get any irritation at all on my skin from using it. It's just really lovely, and it smells like cherries. So that is everything for this haul video. I'm actually gonna scour the Beautylish website and have my own bucket ready for when the sale goes live on Tuesday. So a huge thank you to Beautylish for collabing with me for this video. Love the website, love the products that you sell. Oh my gosh, love the packaging. Every time I get a Beautylish box, it doesn't matter what I ordered, I feel like I'm getting a present, like a personally wrapped present, and their shipping is super fast. So like when I'm having a day and I'm just looking for a little bit of retail therapy, because I live in the boonies, I think Beautylish order, I'll have it in a day. You know, it's like a day or two. It's like an instant gratification type of deal for me. So anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed this video and found it helpful. Thank you for watching. Do not forget to wear sunscreen, and I'll see you guys later. Bye.